Tina and I joined the group in April of 2012. We've both been aware of fracking and doing research on it, and then we found this group in the Fylde called Residents' Action on Fylde Fracking. At that time there were, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 people tops in the country fighting fracking. Now there are millions of us, and it's been quite exciting to be part of it. There is no specific regulations for onshore unconventional oil and gas. There are none. They're trying to use the regulations that were created for the offshore industry, but they're even stripping those out. I mean, the infrastructure bill, the deregulation bill, TTIP, you know, they just want this industry to go ahead. The sums of money involved are absolutely staggering. They know that it will destroy house prices. People living in fracking areas won't be able to sell their houses. I lost £50,000 on my own house that I sold 2 years ago because I was selling a house in an area for fracking. Lord John Brown, the former chairman of Quadrilla, initially one of its biggest investors, his position in Parliament has been very, very damaging to democracy in this country. He's been appointing people, something in the order, I believe, of 50 positions within the regulatory authorities within Parliament. He's been responsible for appointing pro-fossil fuel people to those positions. We've protested about Lord John Brown. We've insulted him online. We've tried all sorts to try and bring him into the debate, but he hasn't done. And now, of course, he's moved off from Quadrilla because he's got this alliance with this Russian oligarch, which personally I think is very, very dangerous for fracking in the UK, because he once said that he will do whatever it takes and he will spend as much as it takes to make fracking a success in the UK. Well, now he's got the money. And my personal opinion, this is an assumption, my personal opinion is that they're going to try and hoover up all the small companies in the UK, because they're all small exploratory companies. The Quadrilla itself, at the end of December in 2013, the last set of accounts we've seen, had a net value of £1.5 million. And I think that's why Lord John Brown has moved off to join this Russian, to give himself the capital to make this industry run in the UK. I've never believed this was about gas. We don't need fracked gas. We have sufficient gas offshore to keep us going for hundreds of years. I've always believed that there was a much, much bigger agenda, and we've now found that agenda, and that is to use the redundant boreholes when they finish taking their money from the fracked gas, when they finish taking their money from the chemicals and those wells become redundant. I firmly believe, and I have documents to substantiate this, I firmly believe that they're going to put nuclear waste down those boreholes. We've 70 years worth of nuclear waste from all the power stations in the UK and from other countries that we've been importing over the recent decades, and the government cannot move forward with the Hinkley C, the new generation of nuclear power stations, until they have a suitable solution to all of this nuclear waste, because at the moment it's all stored above ground. I think it would be devastating for future generations. In terms of these boreholes, we already know that the oil and gas industry has a chronic problem that they've had since the late 1800s. They use cement and steel to form the well casings. The cement fails. 6 to 9% of these wells fail upon installation. A further 50% fail within the first 10 years. And they all fail within 20 to 30 years. So whatever they do with these wells, the flowback fluid that they leave below ground will filter its way back eventually. That's going to poison our water. So the UK is going to end up as an industrial wasteland, a radioactive industrial wasteland. And We can't allow that to happen for future generations. I do this, and I've done this now for 3 years, because I have 10 grandchildren who live in the sweet spot in Lancashire, which is where the majority of those boreholes are going to be drilled. And I want them to have a good life. My generation has been the one that has caused the majority of this problem, and I think it's time that we put something back. This started in Lancashire. We're going to stop it in Lancashire. Join the cause. Do your research. Google fracking and look at the damage that it has done in other parts of the world.